Hi everyone, welcome to the series Learn Java in Depth. Today we are going to discuss about operators in Java. So a programmer generally wants to do some operation in program. For example, in program you want to perform addition of two numbers. How can you do that? Just by using the plus symbols. So we can add the numbers. This means plus is the symbol that perform an operation. That is addition. Such symbols are called as operator and programming becomes easy because of them. So let us discuss about operators in this video and how to use them. So basically an operator is a symbol that perform the an operation. An operation acts on some variable. So those variables called as operand and the symbols is called as operator. So there are different types of operators available in Java. So very first operator available in Java is arithmetic operator. Five operators are performed. So these operators are used to perform fundamental arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modules. So these are the operators. Since these operator acts on two variables at a time, so these are called as binary operator. So let us see how we can perform the same operation in our Java program. So let's go to the any ID. So let's say in our case IntelliJ ID. Just create one class. Let's say arithmetic operator. So let's create first method is main method and let's create some variable. Let's say this is the arithmetic operator, so we need to create at least two variable. So let's create two variables. So that should be variables int a comma b and let's assign some value. Let's say a equal to something 13 and b equal to 5. So let us see how to perform one by one all this operation. So let's perform first addition. So let's write the statement called system.out.println so that it will perform the operation and it will print it. So first operation is addition. So let's write some statement add and let's concatenate it with operation that is a plus b. So what would be the expected result here? That would be 18 because 13 plus 5 is 18. So let's run this program and see the effect. So you can see that addition of two numbers is 18. Similarly, we can perform the other operation also. So let's copy paste this 5 times to perform all the operations. So let's name it like for subtraction. Let's add it like multiplication, division, and module. So addition, subtraction, and multiplication basically gives the result similar to as simple math example, right? And this should be the symbol as slash and module symbol is module. So like this percentage. So what will be the expected result here? 13 minus 5 is 8. And what is the resulted here? 13 multiplied by 5 is 65. Division operator is going to return the result as always resultant. It means that what should be the proper resultant if you divide 13 divided by 5? So it should be like 2. So it is going to ignore the remainder basically. So it is going to return as 2. And similarly, modules is going to return the remainder and it is going to ignore the resultant. So basically here it should be written like 13 modules of 5 which is basically becomes 3 is the remainder, right? So that is the resultant here and the resultant will be going to return. So let's run this program again and see the effect here. So this is how we can perform the arithmetic operation in Java. Another operator is concatenation. So basically this plus operator is there. If you perform the operation using this plus operator, basically it is going to perform some arithmetic operation. But same thing if you want to perform the same operation with the string type data, so instead of going to perform the arithmetic operation, it is going to perform as a join operation or you can say concatenation operation. Take the example like string s1 equal to well and string s2 equal to welcome, and if you perform this s1 plus s2, the resultant would be welcome. So let us see in action here only. Let's create one variable called string s1 and let's assign some value like well. Let's copy this three times. Let's give the name as s2 and give the value as come, and let's create this another variable s3 and let's perform this concatenation operation s2, and let's write that system.out.println as s3. Run this program. So if you see, the output would be welcome here. So basically this plus operator here behaving as a method overriding basically. So we'll see method overloading and overriding in later point of video basically. So the same operator is behaving differently in a different situation. When it is performing operation on integer type, it is performing as an arithmetic operation, and if it is performing the same thing with the string type, it is behaving like concatenate operation, or you can say join operation. We will see in the detail in what is method overloading and overriding in later video. So this is how you can perform the arithmetic operation. Next operator is unary operator. So what is unary operator? Basically, and as the name indicate, unary operator acts on only one operand. Basically, binary operator, if you see binary or arithmetic operation, it is required at least two argument or two operand, but unary operator required only one. That's why it is called as unary operator. And these are and there are kinds of three unary operator available in Java. So let's see one by one. So first unary operator is unary minus operator, second is increment operator, and third is decrement operator. So let's open the IntelliJ IDE again and see with the example. Okay, so let's create separate class for this. Let's name as unary operator, and then create the first method, that is main method. And since it is required only one variable, let's create one variable only. So int, let's say x, and let's assign some value, or directly you can assign value here. Let's say assign value some 5. Okay, so what is the first unary operator? That is unary minus operator. So let's give some comments here. Unary minus operator. Second, we are going to perform as unary, or you directly can say increment operator, and third is decrement operator. Okay, so let's go one by one. So first is unary operator, unary minus operator basically. So this operator is used to negate a given value. Negation means converting an integer. Negation means converting a negative value into positive value and positive value to negative value. For example, here we have given x equal to 5. So if we want to perform the unary minus operator on this value, so it is going to return as -5 because this is a positive integer, right? So let's see, and let's type that system dot out dot println. So basically the symbol of the unary minus operator is minus, like hyphen. So what would be the output here? This will become as -5. And again, if you change this x value to, let's say, -5, right? And if you perform the unary operation again, unary minus operator, so this will become as a -5 +5 again. So let's see how it is going to perform. So first let's comment this part, and let's see first this part only. So let's run this program. So you can see it is printing minus 5. The value it has been negated. So this is how you can perform the unary minus operator with the positive value. And let's remove this part and let's perform the similar operation here only. So if the value was minus 5 and if we are again doing the minus operator, so it is going to return as a plus 5. That is how it is going to revert it. So let's run this program and see the effect. Yes, so it is printing plus 5. So this is how you can perform the unary minus operator. Let's do same thing how you can perform the increment operator. So this operator increase the value of a variable by 1. For example, the value is like here, let's say it is having 5, right? And symbol of this operator is plus plus. So if you can copy this statement here again for this operator and perform that operation like plus plus and then variable name, that is called operand. So what would be the output here? The output becomes 6 because we are incrementing it, and then so this operator basically is going to increase the value by 1. So what is the value of variable x? That is 5, and after incrementing that is going to become as a 6. So let's run this program and see. Yes, so it is printing 6, right? So here if you see this plus plus operator we have applied pre, right, before the variable. We can also apply it after like x plus plus. So basically this increment operator is of type 2. So first type is like pre-increment. So this is called pre-increment because here we are printing it, and what we are printing, first we are doing the increment operator and then we are printing this variables. That is why it is printing 6. And another one it is like post increment. So what is post increment? If you do the same thing and apply this operator after the operand, that is like this way. So what it is going to do, first it is going to print the value because system.out.println responsibility is to print something which is we have passed here. So first is it is going to print the value and then only it is going to increment it. So what is the value of x? Basically value of x is 5, right? And if you print this statement, it is going to print as 5 only. Let's run this and see that. See here. Why? Because we are first incrementing it here and then printing it. So it's become 6, but here we are printing first and then incrementing it. That is called post increment. So basically the same value it is going to print because after incremented value we are not doing anything. For example, if we create another variable, let's say y, and perform the same operation like x plus plus, and then we will print the value of y. So here now it is going to print as 6 because here it is going to basically here it is going to print again 5 because first we are assigning it. So if we write like this way, so what it will do, it will divide into two parts. First it is assigning to y the value of x, and then it is post incrementing it. So if we print the y value also, it will print 5 only. Right, if you can see it is 5 only. So this is how you can perform the increment operator of two type, pre-increment and post-increment. Similarly, decrement operator, it is going to decrement the value by 1. So you can see with this example only. So let's comment this part first for the increment one, and we'll see with this example only. So if you write the system dot out dot println, and if you do the minus minus, that is decrement, and then again it is called as a pre-decrement. basically. So similar to the pre-increment, it is called as pre-decrement. So let's run this program and see the action. So output would be what? It would be 4, right? Because first we are decrementing it and then we are printing it. So its big x value becomes 4 only. So let's see the output. Yeah, it is showing 4. So similar to the post increment, there is a method, there is a type of the decrement operator is also as a post decrement. So that is how we can write it. It is similar way, first operand and then operator. So what would be the value here? Any guess? Yeah, it will become 5 only. Why? Because first we are printing the value and then we are decrementing it. That is called post decrement. But we are not using after decremented value, right? So that's why it is become as a 5 only, whatever the initial value was there. So let's run this program and see the in action. Yeah, it is showing 5 only. So this is all about the unary operator. There are 3 types, that is unary minus operator, increment operator. Incremental operator, again it is of 2 type, pre-increment, post-increment. Then third is decrement operator. Again this is of 2 types, pre-decrement and post-decrement. So let's move ahead and see what are the other operators are available. So next operator available is assignment operator. So assignment operator is nothing but to assign some value. So that is nothing but what we have done here is that is called assignment. So here we are doing, right, we are creating the variable as x and then we are assigning the value directly here. So this is the assignment operator. Let's move ahead and see the next topic. So next topic is compact notation. So what is compact notation? So while using the assignment operator, let's create a separate class, then I will explain you what is compact notation. Let's see, give the name as compact notation and create the method called, let's say, main method. Let's say small only. So I was talking about the assignment operator. So like this, x equal to, let's say we have assigned some value as 10. So let's say in later point of time, if we want to add something in this x variable, how we will do it? We will do generally like x equal to x plus, let's say we have added as 2, right? And if we print this value, system.out.println of x, so what would be the output of value? That will become as a 12. It's taking a little bit time. Yeah, here. So this is how we do usually, right? So compact notation is nothing but while using the assignment operator like this, sometimes we may have to use the same variable at both the side of the operator, right? So like here we are using x variable here also and here also. So we can eliminate repeating of the variable and use the compact notation, or the compact notation is nothing but the shortcut basically. So instead of writing the x equal to x plus 2, we can also write like in a short form x x plus equal to 2. This is also makes same behavior like this way only. So this is how we can say that this is a compact notation, nothing but the shortcut way of writing the I mean regular way of writing basically. And this is only applicable if we are writing the same variable in both the side, before assignment operator and after assignment operator. Here we are using x, so we can make it shortcut as this. So if you run this program, this will give also the same output. So basically this two way of writing is both are valid in Java. So either way, if you want to use this way or this way, both are fine basically. And this is like in some case you can say shortcut way. All the arithmetic operator we have, like addition, multiplication, subtraction, division and module, in all the scenario we can use this compact notation for So for like I have given example like x equal to x plus 10, right? So instead of this we can also use as a compact notation like x plus equal to 10. Similarly, if we have a variable salary in both the side, salary equal to salary multiplied by some value, we can use in a compact notation like this, salary multiply equal to that value. Similar way it will go to the subtraction and then division and module. So this is what the about the compact notation. Let's move ahead and see what is the next operator available in Java. So next operator available in Java is relational operator. So what is relational operator? These operators are used for both the purpose of comparison. For example, to know which one is bigger or which one is greater, or whether two quantities are equal or not. For example, this. So these are the operator available in Java that is used for comparing two value or making the equality of that or not equality of that. So these are like first example, first symbol is say that greater than equal to. So let's say if we have a two operate. So let's say we let's create first new class and then we'll check with the example only. That will be more clear. Let's give the name as relational operator, right? Let's create the main method. Let's create two variable int x or int a b. Let's assign some value, a equal to let's say 10 and b equal to let's say 20. Okay, and if so relational operator basically we use to compare two values, so either in terms of the greater, either in terms of the less than value, or not equal to or equal to. So these five or six are available for those operation in Java. So let's see, if we want to compare a and b value, which one is greater and which one is less than. So we can write something like this: if a is greater than b, if this condition is true, then it is going to print as system.out.println a is greater than b, right? Else b is greater than a. So this is basically control statement that we will be discussing in next video in detail. So this is how we can perform the operation in Java. So any kinds of relation like a is greater than b or b is greater than a, or equality of these two variables. So if you run this program, you will see what is the expected result would be. Basically this condition becomes false because a is 10 greater than 20, that is false. So it will go to the else part and then this will be the statement that is going to print. So basically b is greater than a. So this is how we can perform the relational operator in Java using these symbols. So let's move ahead and see what is the next operator available in Java. So third operator is logical operator. Logical operator are used to construct a compound condition. A compound condition is a combination of several simple conditions. So logical operator is also divided into the three category. First is AND operator, second is OR operator, and third is NOT operator. So let's go to the IntelliJ IDE and create one simple class and demonstrate it. Let's say give the name as logical operator, create the main method, and let's say if we have a condition like a equal to 1 or b equal to 1 or c equal to 1, right? Then only it should come inside the block, if block basically in this case, and then whatever the statement is written, that is required to be printed. For example, yes, right? So here there are three conditions, right? One condition, two condition, and third condition, which are combined by OR operator basically. In this case, if either of the case, either this condition or this condition or this condition is true, then then only it will come inside the if block, and then we will see that output. right? So let's say we'll define this three variable: a equal to 1, b equal to 1, and int c equal to 1, and run this program and see the output. So if you can see, a equal to 1, b equal to 1, and c equal to 1, so it means that it is satisfying all three conditions basically. So or the usage of or condition is like any of the conditions. For example, if I change the value of b something else and c something else, right, then what would be the expected output? Then also it will come inside. Why? Because it is satisfying at least one condition, right? A equal to 1. So just run this program and see the effect. You can see it is still satisfying this any of the condition, because first condition is satisfied, then it will ignore the other condition. Similarly, if we provide the AND condition, so what it is going to return? Basically, let's write some else block also so that we can see what happen if condition is failed. System.out.println, and then let's say print no, and let's run this program. So you can see it is printing no, because in case of AND operator, it is required to be satisfy all these conditions. So in our case, it is satisfying only one condition, and the rest of the condition is getting failed, right? That's why whole condition becomes fail only, and it reach to the else block, and then it is printing no. So this is how we can use the AND operator. And the third one is NOT operator. So let's see how we can use the NOT operator. Let's see, we have a two variable of string type. So string s1 equal to, let's say, there is a typo, s1 equal to, let's say, some value ccc. So let's say skip, and string to s2 equal to something, let's say sktek only. So basically not operator is for to comparing if those value are equal or not. So how we can compare it? We can write like if block s1 dot equals to s2, and we can use the operator like not of this. This is the use of the not operator. Don't worry, we will learn about all this equals method when we learn about the string class. So let's write some statement like system dot out dot println. See, if these conditions satisfied here, then only it will come inside the if block, otherwise it will go to the else block. So let's print some statement here also so that we can clearly see what is the output here. Output dot println, and let's print here like not equal. Here should be equal, and here should be not equal. Means if s1 and s2 is not equals, then it will come inside the if block and it will print not equal. If this condition fails, then it will go to the else block and then it will print as a equal. So let's run this program and see. So in this case both are equals, so it is going to print as equal. Yes. So this is how you can use the another logical operator, that is not operator. Let's move ahead and see what is the next operator available in Java. So next operator available in Java is Boolean operator. So this operator acts on Boolean variable, meaning produce Boolean types of result. So there are again three types of Boolean operator available. That is nothing but single AND operator. So that is here Boolean AND operator. This is Boolean OR operator, and this is how Boolean NOT operator. So this is some similar to the previous one basically, but other one, if you see here, we are using twice AND operator, twice OR operator. That is nothing called as pipe operator, and this is ampersand operator. So let's see in the action, and let's create another class called Boolean operator. Let's create another main method. So Boolean AND operator returns true if both the variables. First operator is what? This is the Boolean AND operator. So Boolean AND operator returns true if both the variables are true. So let's see how we can demonstrate it. Let's create Boolean value. Let's say how to create the Boolean variable, that is Boolean a something. So let's give as a true, and Boolean b equal to, let's say, false, or let's say true only. So basically this operator is similar to the logical operator, only it is going to perform only on the Boolean variable. So how can you demonstrate it? Let's say a and b. This is how we can write in Java. So if both a and b value true, then only it is going to return as a true, because this is the AND operator. So let's write some statement like system.out.println and write like equal, right? And similarly let's write like else part also, so that we can see clearly. Let's copy paste this part and write like not equal. So this is how we can use the Boolean equal operator. Let's run this program and see. So you can see it is printing as equal because both are true, right? If you make it as a false, the second variable, then it is going to return as not equal. Yes, it is printing not equal because this is the AND operator, means both the conditions should satisfy. But in case of OR operator, either of the condition is satisfying, it will return as a true only. So let's run this program and see. It is going to print as equal only, because this is the separate condition and this is the separate condition, right? So since any of the conditions, the first condition itself is a true only, a value is a true only, it will come inside, it will ignore this value even it is a true or false. So if you make this true also, that is not going to make any sense. Basically it is going to print equals only, because first condition itself is satisfied, it is not going to check the second condition. So just wait and see what is the output of this program. So yeah, it is showing as equals only. This is a Boolean operator. Let's see what is the next operator available in Java. So next operator available in Java is bitwise operator. So what is bitwise operator? First of all, there are 7 bitwise operator available in Java. So these are the 7 bitwise operator in Java. This operator acts on individual bits 0 and 1 of the operands. They act on only integer data type, that is byte, short, long and int, because integer data type is going to hold the value as a decimal value without using any fractional. So and it is going to use as a bit byte format only. So let's see how it is going to use in Java. So first operator is bitwise complement operator. So you know, in the simple math calculation, what is the complement? So complement operator is nothing but this operator gives the complements from a given number. This operator symbol is nothing but that this symbol, basically what is called this symbol, tilde symbol. And complement from a positive number can be obtained by changing the 0 as 1, right? For example, let's create another class and we'll see in action only directly. So let's give as a bitwise operator. So in bitwise operator, first one is like complement operator, right? Complement operator. So let's say if we have a variable called int x equal to, let's say, having 10, and if you want to get the complement of the this x value, so what would be the output? So first internally it is going to convert this 10 value in a what you say, bit byte format, basically 0 1 format. So what is the bit byte format of this x value? So this is similar to like 0 0 0 and 10 like this. So this is how it is donated in the bit byte format, right? The first position is says 0, second position comes as 2, third position comes as 8, and 0, 2, 4 and 8. So it will calculate based on the position only. So this is on the 8th position, so that is 8, and this is on the second position, so that is 8 plus 2 is 10. So this is similar representation in the binary format. So if you want to calculate the complement of this variable, let's see what will be the output. So let's write this statement like system.out.println. What is wrong here? That is okay. So basically we have not written main method. That's what it is not suggesting anything. So let's write first main method, copy paste this. So what was the symbol for the complement operator? That is tilde sign. So let's apply here like tilde sign of x. So what will be the output basically? So basically it is going to change all the 0 to 1 and 1 to 0 basically. So this is going to change as 1 0 0 1 0. So internally it will become as 1 1 1 1 space 0, then 1 0 1. This is how it is going to become after complement. So what is the value of this in decimal? Basically this is the let's see the output of this program and we'll understand what will be the output basically. So that is nothing but it is like minus 11 in decimal format. You can calculate in simple math formula, you will also get like minus 11 only. So this is how it is doing the complement operator. Let's move ahead and see what is the next bitwise operator. So next is AND operator. So let's take an example. Since this is an AND operator, it is going to require two operands. So let's create another variable. Let's comment this. Let's create as int y and give some value as, let's say, 11, right? So if you find the another operator, what is the operator name? That is bitwise AND operator, right? So we can perform, and what is the symbol of that? That is ampersand, right? So let's write that system.out.println a ampersand b. So what will be the output basically? Sorry, here it is like x and y. So first of all, let's write what will be the output here. So it should be 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1. So let's calculate this AND operation. So the output would be something like, if perform the AND operation of this x and y, so this would be something like 0 and 1, that becomes 0 only. So let's calculate from the left side. Just ignore this first 4 0 0 0. Let's calculate only this because these are the number that is starting from 1. So 1 1, that will become as a 1 0 0, that is 0 1 1, again 1 and 0 1. So these both are different, means it is going to print as 0. Is there any mistake here? So 1 1, that is 1. Okay, we are clicking here 0 0. Okay, we have made some mistake. So first digit is 1, here is also 1, so 1 1. If both are same, mean it is going to print as same value, otherwise it is going to print as 0. So it will be like 1, second position is 0, here also 0, so it is going to print 0. Then this is 1 and here also 1 is the same value, so it is going to print 1. Here 0, here's 1, so both are different, so it is going to print as 0. So what is the value in decimal? So that is nothing but this is on the second position, so 2, this is on the 8th position, so 2 and 8 is 10, so it is going to print as 10 only. So let's execute this program and see. Yes, it is printing as 10. Similarly, we can perform the operation as OR operator. So that is nothing but, let's comment this part and write with the same variable only. So let's write this statement here as OR operator. Okay, So what is going to be output here? Let's calculate manually first and then see. So OR operator means any of the operator any of the operand having same value or different value, it is going to print that value basically. So let's calculate first here as a simple math formula. So 1 or 1 means it is going to return as a 1 only. 0 it means it is going to return 0 only because both are 0. If any of the 1 is 1, then it is going to print as 1. So both are 1 here, 1 here also 1, it's going to print as a 1, and here it is 0, here it is 1. So any of the 1 is there, it is going to print as 1 1 only. So what is the output in the decimal format here? This is on the first position, this is on the second position, this is on the fourth position, this is on the eighth position. So 8 plus 2 plus 1, so means it is going to print as a 11. So let's see, let's run this program and see the output. It is going to return as a 11 only. Yeah, so this is how you can perform all the bitwise operation in Java. So we have seen like bitwise complement operator, bitwise AND operator, bitwise OR operator. Let's see, the fourth one is bitwise XOR operation. So if you take the same example XY value and if you perform like XOR operation, let's see what is going to print. System.out.println, and what is the symbol for this? Cap symbol. So X cap Y. So if you calculate in the simple math formula, so this is how it is going to come. Let's see what is the output in the Java itself, then we will calculate manually. Yeah, it is printing as 1 only. Why? Because there is some formula to calculate it. You can just go through any math formula in online tutorial and you will calculate it manually. So this is how it is going to perform as XOR operation. So here it is going to return 1. Basically it will be 0 0 0 1, like this it will be the output. Now let's see what is the next operator. So next operator is bitwise left shift operator and bitwise right shift operator. So bitwise left shift operator shift the bit of the number toward left of a specific number of position. What are the position that we are going to return here, right? So let's say we have a given as int equal to 10 and we want to shift two position as left side. So first of all, let's see how we can do in the simple calculation. So what is the representation of the 10 in the binary format? So that is 0 0 0 0 and then 1 0 1 0, right? So after shifting it, how it is going to shift basically? So this two digit, right? So this two digit is going to shift it. So means we are shifting left side. Left side means let's remove this two digit and put it. Let's remove this two digit and print it as it is here, right? And the formation of the binary, it is like 4 digit to 4 digit, right? So let's make it like 4 digit this one, and the remaining digit will become as a 0 only. This is how it is going to shift it 2 digit at the left side. So if you print this value, it is printing like something, I guess 40, right? I have already printed it. Yeah, it is printing 40. This one is printing from here. Let's comment this. Similarly, if you want to perform the right shift for some digit, let's say this is the number 10 and we want to perform some right shift. So let's write again same statement, system dot out dot println, and this time the representation would be a right shift two digit. It means that it is going to shift the two digit to the right side. So right side means how we can do it. So similarly in the left way, how we can do, so we can just leave two digit and put it here. So it is something like we have copy pasted this, and instead of left side earlier we have put it left side 0 0, means remaining digit. In this time we will put right side 0 0 basically. So what is the decimal value for this? This is nothing but the 2. That is what it is printing here. This is how we can perform the bitwise left shift and right shift. Another operator is bitwise zero fill right shift operator. So this operator also shifts the bit of a number toward right specific number of the position, but it stores 0 in the sign bit. The symbol of this operator is triple arrow, basically triple less than less than less than. Since it's always fill 0 in the right bit, it is called a zero fill right shift operator. If we apply this operator on a position positive number, it gives same output as as that of single, this one, right shift operator. But in case of negative number, the output would be positive since the sign bit is replaced by the 0, right? So let's see how we can print it in Java. So let's comment this part. So if we write again the system dot out dot println, and if we apply this operator like a to 2 digit, so what would be the output? Since this is a positive number, it is going to return as, I guess, 2 only, which is similar to the this operator because this is a positive number. So let's prove this. Let's run this program and see the output. Yes, so it is printing the similar behavior as a right shift operator because this is a positive number. So this is the bitwise 0 fill right shift operator. Let's move ahead and see next operator. So next operator is nothing but some special operator available in Java. So first is ternary operator or conditional operator. Ternary operator and conditional operator. This operator is called as ternary because it acts on a 3 variable. So other names for this operator is conditional operator. Since it represents a condition statement, two symbols are used for this operator, that is nothing but question mark and colon. Something like this. Let's create a simple Java program and see. That is nothing but ternary operator. So syntax of the ternary operator is nothing but first it will be like variable because this work on the 3 variable. So we'll write like something variable equal to expression 1. If this is satisfied, then it is going to print as expression 2, else it is going to print as expression 3. This is how is the syntax of the ternary operator basically in Java. This means that first of all, if expression 1 is evaluated, if this is true, then it is going to print the expression value 2, means what are the value we have written here, right? If the expression value 1 is false, so it means that it is going to print the expression third value that is stored in here. So let's see how we can do it in a traditional way, and then how can we replace it with the ternary operator. So let's say we have a condition like if expression 1 is true, then we'll, let's say, variable equal to, let's say, expression 2, else variable equal to expression 3. So this is how the traditional way we will write it in if first expression is true, then we will assign this variable value as expression 2. If it is false, then variable value will become as expression 3. So don't worry about this syntax. We will discuss more about in detail in the next upcoming video, that is the control statement video. So this statement is simply replaced with the ternary operator in a simple single line. So this is how the ternary operator works in Java. If you want to take simple example, so let's give an example basically that will be more clear. So let's see first let's say one expression is there. So let's say int a equal to, let's say, 10. Okay, and if we write the logic like if a equal to 10, then come inside. Okay, one thing we have missed here is main method. Okay, so let's say if a equal to 10, then come inside. Let's create another variable, int variable equal to, let's say, value equal to something. Okay, so if a is equal to 10, we want to assign this value as a 20, else this val value, let's say we want to assign as 30. So if you print this value, let's say system dot out dot println, if you print this value, what is going to print basically? It is going to print as 20 because this condition satisfied. That's why it enter inside the if block and it assign the 20 value, and that value is going to print. So if you run this program, if you will see the output basically. So if you run this program, you will see the output in the console as 20 only. 20, right? So the same expression we can replace it with the ternary operator also in the simple one line only. So let's comment this part and see how can use the ternary operator in this similar behavior. So we can write like something this val equal to expression 1. Expression 1 is what? A equal to 10. If this is true, then assign 20, else assign 30. So this is also going to represent same output basically. Here it is going to print 20 only. So this is how we can use the ternary operator in Java. That's all for today's video. So in next upcoming video, we are going to discuss about control statement in Java. So stay tuned. We'll meet you soon. Thank you.